The TwinSensor, Kit 020, is a rapid test which simultaneously detects the presence of Beta-Lactam and Tetracycline residues in a milk sample. The TwinSensor kit contains the reagents necessary to perform 96 analyses. 12 tubes, each containing 8 microwells of reagents, and 8 strips. You will find an explanatory note, disposable tips, and a 200 microliters micropipette. The kit also contains a positive control, consisting of a powder, to reconstitute a positive raw milk. And it also contains a negative control, in powder form also, to reconstitute a negative raw milk. Take the kit out of the fridge and let it come back to room temperature. To open a tube, remove the safety ring, pressing it downwards, and push the cap upwards using your thumb. Avoid exposing microwells and strips to humidity and light. The two main components of the test are the strips and the microwells containing the lyophilized reagents. Collect the milk samples to be tested and annotate them clearly and distinctly. Take as many microwells as there are milk samples to test at the same time, also for positive and negative controls, if necessary. Take care not to remove the protections from the unused, and replace them immediately in the tube, without damaging the pins. The reagent tube should always be closed immediately. Place the strips on a clean, dry surface, and identify your samples on the cellulose part of the strips. Turn on the incubator, and wait for the temperature to stabilize at 40 degrees Celsius. It may take 10 minutes. It is recommended to use a heat sensor. Refer to the user manual to program and use heat sensor correctly. Reconstitute the vials of controls with 1 milliliter of distilled water. Mix vigorously to obtain a homogeneous solution. The reconstituted glass vial can be stored at -20 degrees Celsius, but it should not be thawed more than once. Place the microwells on the heating block, which indicates 40 degrees Celsius. Place a new tip on the micropipette, and transfer 200 microliters of milk to each microwells. Milk samples must be liquid and homogeneous. They must not contain lumps or sediment. The ideal temperature for milk is between 4 and 20 degrees Celsius. As soon as the milk is mixed with the reagents, the reaction begins. So mix quickly and start the timer by pressing start to begin the first 3 minutes incubation. Place the strips in the incubator support, and above the corresponding milk samples. The second 3 minutes incubation begins automatically. Make sure you have turned on the read sensor, and have selected the method corresponding to the test you are performing. Refer to the user manual to program and use the read sensor correctly. When the second 3 minutes incubation is complete, remove the strips from each microwells, and place them on a clean, dry surface. Carefully remove the lower membrane from the strip. You must interpret the results within 15 minutes of the end of the test. Note that the colors intensify as they dry. For a visual analysis of the result, first check that the central control line is visible. If not, the analysis is invalid. When the central control line is visible, interpret the two test lines as follows. Examine one test line at a time and compare the red color intensity of a test line with that of the control line. If a test line is darker than the control line, then the sample is considered to be negative for the antibiotic concerned, and it contains a concentration of antibiotic lower than what is indicated in the attached table. If a test line is of the same intensity, or if it is lighter than the control line, the sample is considered positive for the antibiotic concerned, and it contains an antibiotic concentration equal to, or greater than what is indicated in the attached table.